All right, I'm back after a long time, it feels like. I don't exactly remember what I was doing. I think I was going down this list, and I think I was on this endpoint. This is at least what was expanded. Um, so I'll cruise through here real quick and see. Token probably doesn't have anything in it. No, token does not have anything in it. Does that I'm doing later. Does verification have? Yeah, verification looks like it's done. Or some amount of code is written for it. I can't say it's done because I don't actually do anything with it until later. I think there's one thing I will have to do for this, which hopefully I can do correctly because it involves a private key. So I believe, oops, that's the public key. I need both of these. In there. Alright. Now they're in there. And I don't want them. I need to ignore them. I think if I just put the file name, yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. And I think I want to see. That was a constant. I want to figure out how I did it in this. Okay. And then I want to more or less copy that same behavior here. I had constants and then I want this up. And then I'll come down here and in the logic I'll do something similar. It'll actually be above it and then a constant I'll have, except I guess I call it config now. Private key name and public key name. And then in here, I don't need active user sort key. Where do I use it? Do I even use the public key in here? I guess there's no reason I need the public key. I guess I just stored it alongside. And there's the private key. Okay, so I need path, FS, and crypto. That goes in here. There we go. Crypto, FS, and path. Right? Yeah. Okay. Guess I just could have copied it, but you know, here we are. And then I sign it like this. Yeah. I want to return the token. How do I get the URL in there? I wonder if it comes in through the context or something. I don't think. I think this kind of stuff would be better lived in the config. Yeah, alright, I'm going to switch over to Vim. Alright, we're pretty deep down in this file structure. Alright, the index. It comes in, and what am I going to need? Do I have that written in the README? I need a refresh token, an email and password, or an OTP. I'm going to disregard the OTP for now. So either a refresh token, an email, or a refresh token, or an email and a password. Okay. I don't actually know. I've never implemented a refresh token before, so I don't exactly know what that's going to look like, but I think I need verification kit. Cool. How did I probably need both of those. I need the application ID. I need, am I doing kebab case or camel case? I forget. Oh boy. I think maybe camel case. That'll definitely make it easier to pull it from here. All right, so this becomes refresh token, and then I have email and password. Application ID and the port I'll pass through. Probably, well, I guess I don't need auth. No, I don't need auth. Have I been keeping that on other ones? Where is this? It's verification. No, I have not. Okay. Application ID, refresh token. I guess maybe I'll do email password first. Okay. And for the port, it just passes straight through. I'm going to get this signature, this. Okay. One second. And it's probably going to be the same thing for this. Oops. My computer computer made a sound when it probably shouldn't have been making a sound. Okay, that's the logic. There we go. Oh no. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Application ID, email, password, and refresh token. So I need to check what this all looks like. If email and password. So we're going to first do, should we put a preference on the email and password or a preference on the refresh token? Or should I not allow one when I allow the others? Because that's also possible. I think put preference on email and password. So if email and password, I need to get email login method and refresh token. Get refresh token item. Going to it exists. Check TTL. What else did I put in there? Delete it. Create a refresh token. That'll happen either way, right? Because I'm going to return a token and a refresh token. So this needs to create refresh token. What about email and password? Verify it. Check hashes. I think that's about it. Okay. I don't know if I had anything for this. I don't imagine I did. But yeah. Well, okay. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. What's it called? Email sign-in. So I had constructing it, creating it, and there should be a reading. There's verification. There it is. So what was the port for that? Probably read. Email sign in. I have read for the verification, but not for weird. Email hash. I want to see where else this was used. The verification. Okay. So it checks that there's an it checks if there's an email already before it creates a verification item. Okay. I think that's fine. Okay, there's how you read the email. It is. I have to sneeze. So now we can read the email sign in. This would be read email sign in with application ID and email hash. Email data. So I also need do this again. Where is hashing? That's what it's called. Const hash, and I will need compare. Equals hashing. Email hash is hash. Okay, yeah, whatever. I was trying to think of why I had it this way, but I had it this way because I'm not supposed to store the email on plain text for security reasons and privacy reasons, but I can store it as a hash. So that's why the hash is there. So now we have an email hash, and then I'll need the compare. It just returns the item. Let's create. Where's read? There it is. Yeah, it just returns the item. So, what does compare say? Let's see. I need this. It returns true or false. Okay. Password is equal to pair password and email data dot password hash. If it is not a valid password, I want to throw a new error. I don't know what that error would be though. Input error resource unique ID unauthorized. Is that what you would do? Thinking it would be. Okay. Otherwise, it just continues because that means that it's good. That means it's valid. What about my user ID? For a refresh token, it's connected to the email hash. I think that should be user ID. Yeah. Let's see how refresh tokens work a little more. I've obviously tried to look into this before. I've just never implemented it. That would be in here. Where's config? Where's my config? Oh, I haven't linked it yet, have I? Oh. Okay. How did I do it in here? Nope, not in there. In here. It's just config.json. Okay. And then I don't remember what I did. I think it was ln. I don't know. See how source and then the link. Oh, did it have to be? Is it ln help? People have to man page it. Source shared ln. Config.json. And then it should be in here. Yes, now it is in here. Okay. What does that look like in here? Okay. And if I change it here, just do that. It does change up here in the authentication space. Shared. Okay. Perfect. That did it. Back to what I was doing originally. A refresh token. Yeah, so what's going to happen here is most websites, when you log in, they only have you log in once, right? And it might time you out after a while, but normally not. So what the normal flow would be, let's say I come to the website, I log in, I get a JWT behind the scenes, I don't know that that exists. I also get a refresh token. Then my refresh token is used whenever my JWT expires to automatically refresh my credentials. So the JWT isn't valid for very long, but the refresh token might be, so that once the JWT expires, the refresh token has not expired, it can be used to refresh credentials, and the user doesn't have to enter a username and password again. should not issue refresh tokens? Uh, I guess that kind of makes sense. And I think I'm using the implicit. That doesn't need an access token? Hmm. It needs an ID token, but I forgot that they have, yeah. Because they're doing authorization as well, so an access token is like what the authorization part sends back, and ID token is what the authentication sends back. So since I'm only doing authentication, I guess I would fall underneath the implicit flow, which means that I shouldn't issue refresh tokens. And I guess you wouldn't put refresh tokens, you wouldn't give those to a browser for the same reason that you keep valid times for a JWT somewhat low, because if someone steals the JWT, then they only have the user's credentials for the amount of time that the JWT is still valid. If you can get the JWT from the browser, you would also be able to get the refresh token from the browser because they would probably be stored the exact same way. And if that's the case, that means that someone would have access to that user's credentials indefinitely because they can just continually refresh using that refresh token. Yeah. That's probably why you're not supposed to just issue a refresh token. I don't know if I came to that same conclusion before and that's why I never issued this, but maybe. Yeah. So at least for now, I don't want refresh token. Maybe later I'll go back and figure out how to do it securely. Just email password. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to figure out. See, I guess it would be useful if you're doing like service accounts. If you're doing service accounts, though, I don't think it would be under this users. So maybe that's the case. For a service account, it would be like uh, a username, I guess, and a password, or the refresh token. And since a service account, you would presume, would be used more securely and not in a manner in which other people could gain access potentially to a refresh token, that would be a valid use case for it. So we're just gonna do email and password for now. We're not doing refresh token. I guess that's valid because I still have this here. Okay, well I guess that makes it a little easier on me from a code perspective. So I'm not doing that. Okay. I can delete that. If it's not a valid email or password, that would throw, and my guess is it'd be like a 401. Probably this. Unauthenticated status code, which is a 401. So it's unauthorized, which is funny, but sure, I'll leave it like that, whatever. Private key path, do I have? I do. That's in the directory that I am in. I will read it in UTF-8 and create a private key out of it. It's my crypto private key, and that's what I use to sign. And then my JWKS is the output of the public key. I guess another thing I could do instead of this would be put it in the S3 bucket. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Because right now, if someone downloads this, they won't have the key. So they will have to create their own key. Okay. There might be a little bit more to do here. Signing the JWT, we're not going to include an email. Oh. Let me make sure that Jose's JWT. I don't think you need to pass anything in, but yeah, it's just whatever claims. Was I gonna do any claims? I don't think I had anything figured out. No, at least not at the moment. Yeah. Oh, maybe user ID instead of email. Audience. Yeah, there we go. So right now I have the email sign in, which does have the user ID in it. So I can just use that. This would be email data.user ID. And then this would be, ooh, yeah, now I have to do the config stuff. Oh, well, I made it easy on myself. Yeah, there it is. Nice. Cool. So that'll be in there. What did I call it? Issuer? Call it the token issuer. Token issuer. Okay. So we have the protected header, we have the token issuer, we have the subject token. Subject token. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think it's like a randomly generated something. Set issue at, and this will take care of it on its own. In Jose, it'll just set it to the current date. I have expiration time of 6 hours. I think that's fine since I'm not doing the refresh tokens or anything. That can be configurable. I can make that configurable. Yeah. Let's um, token expiration. Expiration time. I'm going to stick with 6 hours. It's not email data. It's just it'll just be that. Okay. So the subject token, I need to make sure I have that figured out. JDT subject token claims. Yeah, it's just like a generated. The user. Recipient. How are those? Is it like an example of an ID token that they have? No, of course not. Okay. We have the subject and the audience. I don't know what the difference is. Subject identifies the principal that is subject of the JWT. The claims in a JWT are normally statements about the subject. Subject value must either be scoped to be locally unique in the context of the issue or be globally unique. The processing of this claim is generally application specific, or the sub value is a case sensitive string containing a string or URI value. Use of this claim is optional. So that would be like the user ID, which is that one. Okay. So that's what this is. Audience identifies the recipients that the JWT is intended for. Each principal intended to process the JWT must identify itself with a value in the audience claim. If the principal processing the claim does not identify itself with a value in the odd claim, when this claim is present, then the JWT must be rejected. In the general case, the odd value is an array of case-sensitive strings. Contain a string or URI value. In the special case where the JWT has one audience, the odd value may be a single case-sensitive string. I still don't know what it's supposed to be. That didn't help me. The resource servers that should accept the token. The audience is something like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. Couldn't you just read it and then like assert against it? What is it? I guess that could. I'm gonna comment it out for now. I guess I could set it as like a token audience or yeah. In the config, have like token audience, but I don't think I'm gonna do that now. And then it'll sign it, and then it will return it. Which means that in report, it returns a token. And then in the index, we return a token. Okay. Like that's it. However, the JWKS needs to be created. Huh. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Can I do API gateway S3? You can. How do I have the CDK upload a file? S3 assets? I think it's that. Yeah. Local file or directory, which is automatically uploaded to S3. All right. So one thing I could do with that is take this public key. I'm trying to think. How I might want to do this. I think for now, shoot. Yeah, because I have to create it. I did create it. I had a command for this. Yeah, there it is. writer key, which is this one. To source / applications application ID users token get. All right. And then I could leave the public key up here and have it uploaded. I could leave it up here and have it turned into a JWKS and then have the JWKS written as a JSON file, which is then uploaded to S3. I can do that. And then have a service proxy integration. I can do that. Does it have to be a path or can I give it a string? It's a disk location. Okay. Okay. That would be for the JWKS. I don't think I really want to do that right now, but I'll make an endpoint for. Why are these all expanded? It was on that one. Okay, I was on this one. So I forget what I called it. It's just jwks.json. Okay. Applications, application ID, JWKS. And maybe, oh yeah, that was something I wanted to do in Crow but never got around to make this dynamic in a way. So in here, when it creates it, what it would also do is create RSA keys, store and upload to S3. Store public key as JWKS. So there would also be something in here. Should be like JWKS.json responsive S3. So I just call it something like that. So it would have to be stored there when it's created, and then it's read back out whenever that certain endpoint is hit. Yeah. And that's just a service proxy. Yeah. I think that could work. And then whenever this is happening, just pull or read private key from S3. And I guess it'd be called like private key, I guess. but that needs to be, the private key should not be public. So I'm gonna have to have different rules on the S3 bucket, so that maybe I'll call this like public and these ones private, because this needs to be readable from pretty much anywhere. Well, I guess it's an API gateway, so it could be private. Okay, I guess I don't need to do I? I'll leave it this way. Yeah, I don't know if I should store this in the same folder. So, yeah, I'll leave it like this. So the public will lead to anything that's public that's able to be seen, and private is not. And then that would get rid of the need to do any of this. Yeah. I did at one point figure out how to create the RSA keys. So I'll leave, I kind of want to get done with the endpoints before I loop back around. So just because I have code for those, and I feel like at this point now I'm adding on to what I had done previously. So there's another password, reset, post. Set here. Oh, okay. So I do still need to fill that out. I'll do that later. Actually, I don't think I'm going to start this one today. I think I'll be done for now. Yeah, so what I need to do next is this, which is, what? Oh, yeah, because it's a reset password token. So just like the verification stuff, I'm going to have a new token for resetting a password. I need to send the email out. That'll be done in here. I have to figure out how SES works. I think my account is good with SES. Like, I think I can send emails using SES. Let's find out. So what I just showed for a second there was actually sending out the email. So I need to make sure that the email exists for a user. What happened here? Oh. Okay, so request a new password for a user means that they have to pass me the email address. They have to check that the email address exists. Does not require an API key. This is completely asynchronous. So I check that the hashed email of this address exists as an active user, and then you need to send an email to this email address with a new token to reset the password and create an item for it. Then when they come in here to actually create their new password or change their new password, they need to yeah, and that should be able to happen anyway. Oh, maybe that'd be in here. So this one doesn't need to go through the email verification step because they already logged in, so they have their credentials. This one you do have to go through it because I need that token to validate that or verify that you do have access to that email address. You are who you say you are. And the update, it updates the password and yeah. Easy as that, right? So yeah, I'll try to get through these, well, these next before I go back to dynamically creating and uploading the public and private keys to S3. Let's see. I thought I had, yeah, okay. I don't know if it's unlocked though. Yeah. Reputation. Verified identities. Yeah, because there's some stuff where, oh, I'll just delete this. There's some thing where, okay, I can send email through. Yeah, the whole SES thing is difficult because you have to like verify who you are, and then you have to. I had to like actually type out to some person on the other end of AWS services what I was going to do when I had access to SES. It's like a more complicated way to do SendGrid, but this way, yeah, I don't know what would be easier if people would rather use something like SendGrid where you just need an API key, or something like SES just to keep it in AWS. So yeah, I don't know, but that's one of the benefits of using a hexagonal architecture. Whenever I write my code in here for the for sending the email, and also in here, no, creating a user, right? This send verification email, it's just going to be an outgoing port. So it'll have all the information that someone needs. And then actually sending that email, whatever service it's done through, is up to whoever uses the code. It can be used with SES, or someone can rewrite the code to work with SendGrid. But as long as it has that function signature, it doesn't matter what sends it. So yeah, um, that'll do it for me today. It didn't look like I did that much, I feel like, for almost an hour, but whatever. So thanks for watching. If you did, all this stuff is open source. I don't really push it after I'm done with the stream, so feel free to use it if you'd like to. If you want any help setting it up, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help someone set it up, or use any bits and pieces of it, or change it around in any way. So yeah, I like hearing from people who watch this stuff and read my stuff. So shoot me an email, and we'll get something figured out. So, bye for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.